Time now for that morning rush. We do begin with breaking news this hour out of Northwest Albuquerque. A live look from Sky News 13. You can see police have shut down the westbound lanes of I-40 from Rio Grande all the way past Coors this morning. This is video of where traffic is being diverted to Rio Grande. It's all due to a deadly crash involving a semi and a motorcyclist. All lanes of Coors over I-40 also closed at this time as transportation officials make sure that bridge was not compromised by the fire underneath. We turn now to Sarah, who's live on the scene with the latest. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. Police have shut down I-40 westbound at Coors due to that fatal fiery crash involving a motorcycle and a semi around 1 this morning. A semi truck caught fire directly under Coors Bridge. The heat and the intensity of the fire caused the gas tanks to rupture, creating an explosion. Officers say the initial investigation revealed that a motorcycle was traveling west on I-40 at a high rate of speed. The driver came off of the motorcycle and the motorcycle became lodged underneath of that semi truck, causing the fire. The motorcyclist was then struck by numerous vehicles traveling on I-40. APD says he died on scene. Coors northbound and southbound over I-40 remain closed as NMDOT crews examine the structural integrity of the bridge. Meanwhile, Coors southbound, I-40 west and eastbound are both open. As for northbound drivers on Coors, I-40 eastbound is open for the morning drive. Back to you.
Also breaking this morning, police say northbound Juan Tabo is shut down near Manal because of a deadly pedestrian accident. Now, police say the pedestrian died on scene. Meanwhile, that road will likely remain closed for a while during the investigation. Now, so far, there's no word on any arrests or the identity of the person killed. We will keep following this for you and let you know when we find out more. Kristen?
More moisture means more storms here in New Mexico. These will start over the mountains around lunchtime, then continue to expand in coverage and intensity this afternoon and evening. Heavy rainfall causing flash flooding will be our top concern, and we're going to continue with these rain chances through this evening. They'll return tomorrow afternoon. Crystal?
New details for you this morning. Police still looking for the man accused of leading Roosevelt County deputies on a dangerous chase in a front-end loader, ending with him being shot by an officer. State police say James McFarland may no longer be in New Mexico after Lubbock Hospital released him from their care, but not to police. New lapel video shows the dangerous moments leading up to that shooting. According to police, McFarland shouted out that his wife just divorced him. Again, he's on the run this morning.
The district attorney says she plans to meet with Cannon Air Force Base officials to see if her office or the Air Force will consider criminal charges in connection to the death of an airman. According to the Eastern New Mexico News, a 23-year-old man suffered a gunshot wound to the head during what is described as, or what happened during the 4th of July activities. Now, we're choosing not to name the man. Police have not confirmed his identity either, and the newspaper says his family confirmed that he was an airman.
The man accused of putting a cyclist in critical condition after hitting him with his car is set to be released from jail, at least for now. A judge is pointing the finger at APD this morning for releasing surveillance video showing the crash to the media first, but not tagging a copy of it into evidence. Albuquerque police arrested Alan Hackett last week on charges. Hackett will be released once he completes a drug treatment program.
The driver contracted by the Environmental Protection Agency to haul sludge from the Gold King mine is being cited with careless driving for following a crash. Now, according to the Durango Herald, officials are unsure what caused the driver to veer off the road and crash into a cement creek, spilling some of the sludge that he was carrying. Now, the EPA says that sludge is not hazardous and the driver is not seriously hurt.
Desert Reef and Exotics pet store under fire once again this morning, this time for operating with an expired business permit. The permit has been expired for 15 months, but the city says they can still operate with an expired permit. They say it's the owner's responsibility to keep it updated, or they will be fined $10. Animal Welfare revoked the business license on Monday, saying the store faces 8 violations. The owner is appealing that action. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index up to a 5, looking at spotty storms possible here in the metro. Flooding risk is our top concern. Breezy conditions at times. Those winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. David?
Parkland students making their way across the country on their Road to Change tour will be stopping here in Albuquerque today. They will be hosting a voter registration barbecue, all while educating attendees on gun reform laws that they believe are needed to save lives. Now, the Parkland students want to recognize those involved with New Mexicans to prevent gun violence. Now, the bus will stop at Roosevelt Park from 2 to 4 this afternoon.
On to new details for you. After being stuck in the depot for 40 days, the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad set to resume operations tomorrow. The Durango Herald reports that the train has not been able to run since the 416 fire broke out on June 1st. Witnesses say the cinder from the train is what sparked the blaze. The railroad's general manager says coal-fired steam engine service to Silverton is likely to resume tomorrow if La Plata County Commissioners give the go-ahead. They're set to discuss whether to downgrade current Stage 3 fire restrictions, which ban the use of coal-fired steam engines. Kristen.
Time now for a check on traffic like we've been talking about all morning. I-40 westbound closed at Coors. Your best option would be to avoid that area if you do plan to get off at Rio Grande. Also, as mentioned earlier, Wantabo northbound still closed at Manal. Everything else looks good.
Well, take a look at this right here. There's a new addition at Chicago's Brookfield Zoo. It's a baby porcupine. Officials say it was born on July 2nd. Now, this is the first porcupine of its kind to be born at the zoo. Unfortunately, the mother could not take care of the little one, so staffers have taken it under their wing, and so far seems to be doing okay.
6:53 now, looking at temperatures in the lower 80s by lunch. 90 degrees is a forecast high today. Spot storms possible here in the metro, more scattered as you get closer to the mountains. Flooding will be our top concern, and this continues Thursday, Friday, as well as into the weekend. Flash flood watches have been posted for the mountain areas as well as southern Colorado. Burn scars susceptible to mud flows as well as debris flows. Of course, we'll keep tabs on that as the rain continues to fall. Time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, there's new information about driving here in Albuquerque that you may want to know. Albuquerque is ranked low on a list of best cities to drive in. This study that from Wallet Hub cites that the Duke City comes in at 76 out of 100. However, there are some bright spots. We finished in the middle of the road for cost of vehicle maintenance and in the top 25 for commute time. Now, to see the full list of categories and where we ranked, just head to alwaysonkrqe.com.
Number 4 now. After being stuck in the depot for 40 days, the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge railroad set to resume operations tomorrow. The Durango Herald reports that the train has not been able to run since the 416 fire broke out on June 1st. Today, La Plata County Commissioners are expected to discuss whether to downgrade current Stage 3 fire restrictions, which ban the use of coal-fired steam engines. Although the fire is under investigation, witnesses have said a cinder from the train may have sparked the blaze. The owner of the railroad says they will now have a fire truck follow the train in that area if conditions are exceptionally dry. Crews also recently cleared brush and built fire lines along the train's right-of-way.
At number 3, spotty to scattered storms in the forecast today. Temperatures near average, falling below that as we finish up the work week. We've got widespread rain and thunderstorms on the way for the weekend as the monsoon continues. Temperature-wise in the 60s overnight, down to the 80s for the weekend.
At number 2 this morning, police are looking for the man accused of leading Roosevelt County deputies on a dangerous chase in a front-end loader, ending with him being shot. State police say James McFarland may no longer be here in New Mexico. This after Lubbock Hospital staff released him from their care, but not to police. New lapel video shows the dangerous moments leading up to the shooting. Deputies say McFarland first used that front-end loader to crush his wife's Jeep. He then took off and led deputies on a nearly 20-minute chase. Now, deputies say he ignored emergency lights and commands to stop, so they fired, shooting him. According to police, McFarland shouted out that his wife had just divorced him. He's now on the run.
That brings us to number 1. We continue to follow breaking news out of northwest Albuquerque this morning, where I-40 westbound lanes shut down from near Coors, I should say. This is from Rio Grande all the way past Coors due to a serious accident involving a semi-truck and a motorcyclist. Traffic now being diverted off of Rio Grande. Traffic northbound and southbound on Coors near the I-40 interchange also being affected by this. According to police, this is a deadly crash. They have said that the motorcyclist died on scene.